What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Chase on Two Wheels first ride here at Mountain Motorsports, and today the questionably viewed Kawasaki KLR 650 is going to get a first ride. I am your host, Chase on Two Wheels, and today we are going to take a little ride on a big KLR. Let's do it. So first thing I can point out to you guys is we have a little addition to the group. We got a little Hero Session 5 that's going to be traveling with us today. A lot of you guys have been asking for dual cameras, so I was like, you know what would be perfect? Get a little session, get a little bar clamp. That is going to be a part of every first ride from now on. So moving on, this bike is absolutely massive. Should we use that method that I used to get on the Ducati Multistrada? I don't think so. Okay, I could have. Oh my god, it's so huge. This is a massive bike. Oh my god. Okay, also, this bike isn't like a lot of bikes. It's a carbureted bike, so you're going to have a choke, and that is going to increase how much revs the bike is at. I don't know all the technicalities of it. Oh my god. Well, the seat's comfy. What is that? This is going to be great. Now that I've almost dropped the bike and hadn't even got out of the parking lot. Okay, let's make these mirrors something. God, this is such an archaic bike. All right. Oh my goodness. I clutch doesn't engage to the very end of it. Alrighty, so many have said that the Kawasaki KLR 650 is one of the ugliest bikes they have ever seen in their life. And you know what? That's a matter of opinion. If you share that opinion, that's fine. This bike, said by Kawasaki, is a dual purpose. So what that means is it's made to do multiple things, or two things, and what they say is off-road and on-road. Got a 650 engine in it. It is a single cylinder, and from what I've read and watched, this bike is, I don't even know what the correct term is. It's utilitarian. It gets the job done. Is it the fastest? No. Is it the most torquey? No. Does this car know what they're doing? No. What is that noise? Oh goodness. Oh, it's such an interesting sound. Okay. So this bike reminds me a good bit of the V-Strom. I rode a V-Strom 1000 a while back. It was a while back ago, so if you go watch the video, I'll leave a little thing for it. Be wary, it was one of my first rides. It was back in the day, so things have changed since then. But it gives me that mentality, you know, that way high up on the bike seating position, as you can maybe see from the session. I'm upright, man. My back is straight up. Got some high handlebars here. It's a very comfortable position, and the seat's pretty wide. It's very comfortable. It has this kind of, I've never ridden a tractor, like a farming tractor, but I imagine this is what riding a tractor would be like. Like, it's just got this bike feels like it sounds. Shifting gears sounds like you're just hitting the engine with a freaking hammer. As far as handlebar input, it does not take a lot to get the bike going back and forth, which is surprising. In the showroom, I noticed that, I mean, this is a big bike. If you guys couldn't tell, I'm 5'10", and like swinging my leg over this thing is a little rough. It's a really big bike, it's a little heavy, but surprisingly moving it back and forth with the handlebars doesn't take a lot. One nice thing about having a big bike like this is the placement on the ground. Like, the bike feels like it's not going anywhere. So see, that's one of the good sides about having a bigger bike, is when I get to the highway, ideally, or what I'm expecting, is I'm going to feel real planted on the highway. The wind's not going to be knocking me back and forth. I'm moving my foot around, and my right foot, you know, I can touch the engine and stuff like that. That's normal. But my left foot, there's an odd lack of stuff down there. It's weird. I want to see what's down there. It just feels like I have a lot of room, and it's probably that little area by the kickstand. It feels weird. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing or what. Turn signals are kind of where I would expect them to be. This thing does not have a lot of engine. It's not going to be throwing you back. Supposedly you can wheelie it. I don't know if I'm going to be trying that today, but if I'm going to be honest, the engine kind of feels like an R3 engine. You know, it'll get you going, but not very fast. You know, but I think for a bike that I'm supposed to be able to ride on and off-road, I don't necessarily want a bike that's going to be throwing me back, you know? One thing I don't think this bike has going for it is this giant fairing in the front. For how big the bike is, I realize that it fits in, but from a rider perspective, it makes the bike seem so much bigger. The instrument panel is a little, you know, old. You've got just the basics of basic stuff. I don't even see a fuel indicator, which is terrifying. That being said, this bike has a 6.1, I think, gallon fuel tank. For a motorcycle, that is a massive gas tank, and that's going to get you some serious range. I think I read you can get something like 250 miles off of one tank. That is definitely going to help you out if you're looking to do something like a tour or something like that. This could be one of those phenomenal bikes to just go, you know, across country with. We got to see how it does on the highway first, but it's a potential. I love leaning big bikes like this over, man. I am interested to show you guys something up here. So we're going to do the turnaround test like I always do. Now, this is a bigger bike, so I imagine the turnaround is going to be a little harder. But something I noticed when I was on the floor with the bike doing the photos, the handlebars can move so far back and forth. I'm going to show you guys in a second if there's no car coming. All right, cool. So we're going to do this turnaround test and see how it goes. I don't think I'll make it. I'm going to give myself the best chance. All right, look at the handlebars. Look at that. I turned this bike better than I've done other bikes. I'm going to show you guys that again because it blows me away. And I believe it'll help you off-road. Look at that. Is that not insane? This is one of the bikes I've been able to turn around, do the turnaround test a little better on. Blows my mind how much this handlebar can turn. And, you know, you can imagine you're off-road and you're trying to go up trails and stuff. You need to have a handlebar that can go back and forth so you can navigate through the terrain. Absolutely fantastic, man. Turning radius is on point. Let's get this thing going. Oh, okay. You know what? This is one of those bikes that wheelies really slow and lethargic, but I bet it can wheelie. The front end got really light just now. The front wheel probably didn't come up, but it got really light. That was in second. Let's play around. All right, so can the KLR 650 wheelie? Absolutely can. It's one of those bikes that it can wheelie, and it comes up slowly, but it'll definitely wheelie. That was a first gear, clutching up a little bit. Now, unfortunately, on the route we're taking on this first ride, I don't have any places I can go off-road. I would be a little worried because it's such a big bike, but you know what? A little bit of a light off-roading, I think you can have a really good time with this thing. Now, if you're doing something real serious, I think the weight is eventually going to bite you. To an extent, I think the weight is going to help because it's going to give you that traction to get through a lot of crap. And you've got a really torquey tractor engine that's going to help you get through a lot of stuff. So, as far as off-roading, it feels like light off-roading, no problem. when it gets a little serious, I think the weight is eventually gonna hinder your progress a little bit. I gotta be honest, guys, I expected to get on this bike and not like it a lot. I expected it to be slow, so I did come into it with that mentality, but I kind of like this bike a lot more than I expected to. It's tall, it's comfy, you know, it's not fast. But a bike doesn't have to be fast to be fun, man. A lot of people think a bike has to be fast to be fun, and it really doesn't. One thing I'm noticing about the suspension on this thing is when I come down off of those little wheelies, the suspension just, it comes in and it compresses so smooth. You know, these mirrors are the type that'll probably come loose really easily, but I mean, they work as long as they're tightened. You know, I'm not having to chicken wing in. I can see what's behind me relatively easily. Got some hand guards. Oh, good lord. So if you're gonna do some serious off-roading, I would probably recommend some different hand guards. Those things, I don't think those things are gonna do much if you hit like something serious. So guys, while we're stuck at a red light, what are you guys thinking about the little session camera down there? You guys like that second angle? If you do, let me know by hitting that like button. I will slowly add camera angles as we go. All right, with that big front tire, I feel like I can go over anything. Shifting's pretty good. The audible sound when you shift, and it sounds like somebody's inside your engine just being like, bah, with a hammer. That's pretty fantastic. It's hilarious. Oh no, water crossing. We're totally gonna cross that. No, the hell we're not. Oh look, here's off-road. Dun dun dun, bum 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 bum. Yeah, Chase is off-roading. All right, let's take a look at this bad boy, and then we'll off-road over there. Oh my god, it's so big. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 2015 Kawasaki KLR 650. We've got some kind of dual-purpose tire situation going on. Looks like Dunlop K750s. Never heard of them. Power to you. Giant comfortable seat. We got this pterodactyl front. Personally, not a fan of the looks, but you know what? Some people might be a fan of dinosaurs. We got the headlight in the front. The headlight does not move with the handlebars. You guys can see that goes back and forth. That plastic seems so cheap. Okay, don't worry about that. Look how big this front tire is, man. Absolutely massive. The one thing the bike does have going for it, it got that blacked out engine. I love it. Love it, love it. The swing arm seems thin and abysmal. The exhaust, you know what? At least the exhaust is hidden. And what the hell is this? The tail is absolutely crazy. One cool thing is, so you got this area for like luggage and stuff like that, and those are actually tools. Thought that was pretty neat. So the exhaust, it doesn't sound great, but you know what? Let's take a listen to it. And before we do, guys, if you are interested in seeing what this bike actually looks like in some nice photos, and if you want to hear what the abysmal exhaust actually sounds like, go check out Chaseontwowheels.com. I do a blog post for every first ride that I do, and include some high-res photos, some sound clips. Check it out, Chaseontwowheels.com. Anyway, let's check this thing out. All right, listen to the beast roar. Got some popping action. It's not the worst sounding bike we've had. It's definitely not the best. I'm gonna try not to fall over this time. Oh wow, the multi-strada technique really works on here, where you step one foot here, you swing over. Okay, we're gonna do some secret off-road action. Secret off-road action. Yeah, KLR 650 off-road test. This is a first for Chase on Two Wheels first rides. Oh, it just soaks it up. Oh yeah. Oh wait, can I go over here? There's a hill. I don't know if it's a homeless man's home, but oh, we're gonna totally conquer this hill. Oh, we totally did. Now see, these handlebars are amazing. Got to the top of that hill and I needed to turn a lot, and it was no problem at all. Oh man, this is not bad. That was fun. Holy crap. Okay, I can see it. I can see the use of this bike. It might be slow and not have a lot of power and be ugly, but it's fun. If you're a tall rider looking for a bike, this might be a really good option. I've told you guys I'm 5'10", and I've got plenty of space here, and I'm really comfortable. So if you guys are really tall, having a problem finding a good bike, and you want some maybe dual purpose action, you might have a good option here. All right, that's first. All righty, here we go. 2015 KLR 650. Yeah, nothing great, man. You can feel the torque it has down low, but once you get midway up through the RPMs, you can feel it just die. All right, so we're in 6th gear, going about an indicated 90, which I don't know if I believe that. My feet are shaking like hell right now. Oh my gosh. As far as wind, the handguards are doing a good job blocking any type of wind on my hands. I do full plant it, you know, the bike is a little bit heavier. I feel pretty solid on the highway, but one thing I don't like is right there. Watch my hand slowly move up and you'll see where the wind starts hitting me. Right there. You see how I can't hold my hand straight? But right here I can hold my hand almost dead straight. So that wind is knocking me right in my visor. It's not the most ideal place, because if it was hitting me in my neck region, my chest could deal with that wind and that wind buffeting, but when it hit me in the mid-top, my visor just makes my head shake all around. Now granted, you can tuck, totally eliminates that problem, but the second your head's up, you're back into that little wind tunnel problem. If I was gonna want this for something like a highway ride or like a long-term commuter, I would probably have to get a larger windscreen. I'm sure they make larger windscreens for this bike, but if you were looking at commuting on something like this, definitely something I would want. I don't like coming to a stop with really big bikes when I'm a shorter guy. All right, look, this is me trying to flat foot. So if I go ultimate tippy toe on both feet, I can stand up and both feet can touch the ground. But like my big toe is the only thing it can touch. What that's gonna do is by the time I've got a full foot down on the ground, I can hold the weight of the bike. There's a lot of the weight of the bike over, and that's why you saw when I first got it on the bike, I had a problem keeping it up because I was on a hill and all that kind of stuff. KLR 650 versus, what is this? A Kia Optima. Oh, I broke him off the line. I cheated. It's all right though. It's all right cheating. All right. Yeah, it's dead. It's dead right there. It has very little pull now. All right, so let's try to pass these cars and see if the engine's got enough. Hey, look, I'm going 80 up to 90. I think this is a cop. That's not bad. I'm not gonna pass this cop because I'm not stupid. Let's do a passing test right by a cop. It'll be awesome. Oh, where's neutral? Is that neutral? See, I can't even see if these things are on. I'm having to put my hand over it. That's not the best. So guys, what are my thoughts on the KLR 650? The best way I can describe this bike, man, is a tractor. It doesn't do anything very well, but it does a lot of things all right and good. Is it the most amazing bike? No, but it gets the job done in a lot of different scenarios. This bike also comes in at a really good price point. This 2015 with less than 50 miles was $6,200. For a almost brand new bike, that's not bad. So the price is there. It's dual purpose. It can do a lot of things all right. You know, it's a utilitarian bike. You get it to get the job done. Obviously I can't test it here, but from what I've heard, these bikes can get thrown around and they just keep ticking, man. That's why I keep referencing the tractor, because it's slow but it gets the job done and it can take a beating. You know, seeing how this bike is, if you're a tall person, this would be a really good option for a first bike. It's not going to throw you all over the place. By the time you learn how to ride and stuff like that, you can play around and do some wheelies on it, and you can do on and off-road relatively well. Could be a fantastic option if that's something you guys are looking for. But guys, that's going to bring me to the end of the KLR 650 from Kawasaki First Ride. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to let me know by hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel for much more content like this. Before I get out of here, I do want to say a massive shout out to my guys at Mountain Motorsports. They are the bike dealer that actually let me borrow these bikes so I can test ride them and let you guys know what I think about them for the first time. Also, Mountain Motorsports are doing their own style videos where they go through the technical stuff and all the numbers of these bikes. If you guys want to see their video on this bike, click the link in the description and check that out. But guys, I appreciate you spending some time with me. I'm going to head out of here and give this bike back to the boys at Mountain Motorsports. And I will see you guys in the next video, which is going to be on a Tuesday or a Friday, like every week here on the Chase on Two Wheels YouTube channel. You guys take it easy and ride safe out there, and I'll see you on the next one. Later. Alright, maybe one more wheelie. Just one. That's never a good thing to say, because it's always the final wheelie that bites you in the butt. Alrighty.